Practice 5. I thought last Tuesday, feeling a little sorry for ourselves. I think the first 3, you anticipate excitement, first time practicing, then having a couple of days off, came back a little sluggish early in the practice, got going. This practice, I thought it was better coming out. I think we're still trying to teach the fundamentals that go along with playing the position. Guys are doing a better job of focusing in on that, which is important. The fundamentals and the techniques are the things that I keep harping on. I harp on them every day, and I just think that's how the foundation is built. These guys know that when we come back in the summer, there's going to be 20, 21 guys that come in here that compete for their jobs. And so they're well aware of it. I'm making them aware of it. I told them today that the one thing that's great about this sport is every time you walk out on the grass, that becomes your resume. And you have to look at it. And it has to be a certain standard if you're going to play on this team. And I think they're starting to understand that, which is a good thing.
The fact that you only have 2 scholarship running backs in the spring, what kind of challenge does that present?
Well, we understood that, but I think the funny thing is when you see the ones we're bringing in here, it's going to be a change all of a sudden. There in the offensive line, some secondary guys, some receivers. So we've got a group coming in here that has some talent that's going to uplift us. We're a little thin at some positions, but for the most part, I'll give these young men credit. They're competing, especially some of the guys that are not running with the first team or the second team. They're getting better, and that's all you can ask them to do. Now, talent-wise, will they be good enough? We'll have to wait and see on that. But I have to give them credit for the fact that they're going out and competing every day.
To the point that you were just making earlier, how do you strike the right balance between skill development and all the installs that you're trying to get in?
Well, you got to do it slowly, because you got to build a foundation off fundamentals and technique. You can do all the installs in one. It doesn't matter if they can't line up and they're not playing the proper technique at the position. So I'm real big on that. We still have time. I mean, look, we're presenting a whole new defense. So that alone is going to take a little time. With that being said, the fundamentals that go along with playing the position are being taught. I'm very demanding on that. I mean, if you look at our practice sheet, there's 2 sheets that are required. They come to me before we go to practice, and it's fundamentals and individual drills, and the coach has to fill this out. Every coach has to fill this out on offense as well as defense to make sure that we're organized in those two periods. And so that'll continue. That's never going to change.
How far off are the guys collectively in that area?
Well, they're learning something new, especially the secondary. I think we're doing some different things which require some different alignments, some different techniques. These guys weren't a big back pedal team last year. We're back pedaling. That's new for a lot of guys. We're playing a lot of bump, but I'm asking them to use their hands to be able. I've always said this: there's bump and run, and then there's chase, and we receive. Because we don't use your hands on the guy, then you're really not playing bump and run. And we're going to receive a lot because the guy's going to beat you. So you got to use your hands. And that's part of the process. I'm real big on that. As you know, I'm a former player. I get how hard that position is to play in the back end, and I think we got to be fundamentally sound. And so they're starting to learn. I mean, I watch Lucas all the time and Kobe, and they're going with the first group, and every day you see another phase of them getting better. And that's a good thing. And all of them are getting better. I mean, it was hard for them to line up off coverage the first day of practice. They didn't know what we were talking about. Say, it's what you got to do. So, after 5 practices, they're starting to understand what's required.
In all your time coaching, is there a common denominator that all your best defenses have had?
Yeah, they were a very good tackling group of guys. They tackled very well. They understood where to miss, and they took the ball away. They took the ball away. Played good situation football for the most part. Real stubborn in the red zone. Really stubborn. You might move the ball a little bit, but in the red zone, we're pretty good. took the ball away, understood situation football. So, you know, we're a long way from that because we're trying to figure out who's who. When we get these other guys in, we'll add some more guys to the mix, but you got to be up tackle. That started with us when I was in Kansas City, and we had all those great players there. We had a bunch of really good corners and had some rush guys, and he's passed away now, Derek Thomas and Neil Smith. You know, it starts back with those guys, and then when we went to Tampa with Tony and Lovey and Rod Marinelli, and Lovey and Rod were here at one point. We kind of built that defense down there. It was pretty salty. In New York, had pretty good defenses as well. So, common denominator, didn't give up a lot of big explosion plays, tackled well, played good in situations, especially in red zone.
Now, you mentioned Tony. How much of the way you structure practice did you take from Tony?
Well, a lot. You know, Tony and myself, we came out of college together. We actually played an all-star game together. That's how we met. He went to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I went to Philadelphia and played. He started coaching before I did. He's coached with the Steelers while I was still playing. And then we got back together in Kansas City. We were there with Marty and Bruce Arians and Tony and Bill Cowher. We were all on that staff together. And then from there, Tony went to Minnesota to become the coordinator. I stayed, and then when Tony went to Tampa, I became the assistant head coach. So our philosophies are really similar. I'm probably, and Tony will tell you this, and the players will tell you this, in Tampa, I was the bad cop. Tony was the good cop. And as you know, Tony is pretty flatline. I'm a little bit more emotional. But during the game, I'm pretty flatline, to be quite honest. But, you know, we played off each other well. But a lot of our philosophy blended together for a long time, as well as Lovey's, as well as Rod's. You know, we had a lot of similar common denominators how we were going to coach football. And I sat with Tony many a day, being assistant head coach, really picking his brain and asking him, why did you do this instead of that? And that was an education alone. I mean, I'm not sitting in this seat if it's not for Tony. I mean, when he made me the assistant head coach, it wasn't by title. It was responsibility as well. It wasn't just, you know, you give some guy assistant head coach and, oh, it's great. But no, he actually had me doing head coaching duties. And I sat in meetings for the draft, and I did all those things. And he was developing me to become the head coach. So I can't thank him enough. He's like a brother to me. So that was the first phone call I got when I came back from TD. He smiled, he was laughing. I said, good for you. He said, you're going to coach Tampa too? I said, we're going to coach Tampa too, you know that.
So going back to the quarterbacks, to Chase and Kobe, you spent a lot of time with them in practice. Was that kind of the thinking going into spring, or that just kind of happened?
Nah, I mean, I'm always going to go over there and mess around with the defense. And I offense too, but I told the coaches, you know, there's a story in Lynch. Lynch understood it when I was coaching John and Rondé Barber and those guys down in Tampa. The story is when Coach Herm turns his hand around backwards, we're in trouble. He's getting ready to coach now. And so when I became a head coach, it was the same thing with New York. You know, I turned my hat around backwards and they said, oh, he's going over to mess with the secondary, man. He's getting ready to coach. And I told the coach there, I said, when the hat goes around backwards, just get out of my way because I'm getting ready to go, right? And I just enjoy it. You know, I'm one of those coaches that I delegate to my staff. I trust my staff. And I told them when I first hired him, I said, look, I'm going to sit in every meeting. I'm going to know what you're doing. But when I walk in there, just be ready. Don't take it personally. You know, I've been around football too long to not say anything. And I enjoy coaching the players. I enjoy, that's what you miss. You know, when you go to television, there's no players. They're on the tube and you're coaching, you know, but you don't get to touch them, you know. And when you get to touch them and you talk to them and they figure you out, be quite honest, they see when I'm coming to their drill. And they know if the hat goes around, coach is gonna start coaching. You know, and so that's the fun part for me. I mean, I'm gonna always be a coach. And I'm gonna coach on the grass when I get an opportunity. And all these coaches here know that. And they're not, I'm not trying to take over their drill by any stretch of the imagination. But I wanna be a part of it because I just feel that that's who I am.
John Humphrey, he got hurt on Tuesday. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's out. He got an Achilles. He's having surgery today. And I told the players earlier, I called him last night. I I talked to his mom and dad. Our prayers are with him. He's going to have surgery around noon today, and I told the players just make sure that after this episode happens and he gets his surgery, he's part of the family. We need to get a hold of him. He's going to rehab here. But we had a nice conversation last night, and I talked to his mom and dad as well last night. I called him.
So he'll be out for the season?
Yeah, he's got a key. He's attended.
Steve Miller, is he okay?
Yeah, he's working on some personal things. He's going to be around. He's going to show up here pretty soon.
Coach, Danny Gonzalez
Yes.
said that J.J. Wilson was a leader so far early on. And then today we saw Kyle Soelle and Nick Ralston get 1 reps. Just one of your thoughts about the linebacker group.
Well, it's thin, to say the least, but I think this, what we're looking at guys right now that are eager to learn. They'll get their reps when they get their reps. I'm real big on this. There comes a point to where, because you're installing something new, you better figure out who the guys are, because they're going to need the reps more than the other guys right now, because you only got 15 days of practice. When summer comes, it's different. Then you'll have a host of guys. We're trying to build a defense, and it's hard to do because you want to give everybody reps. But I told the players, look, this is an evaluation. You get evaluated every day you step on the field. And if you don't know how to line up right, you don't have a problem playing. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Thank you.